We are now going to be more technical a little bit. We are now looking into your course that you have planned to do. So don't worry too much. Your dean may send you for another course, but you end up with another course. It's okay. But I will encourage you to talk to your dean lah. Okay, in case they have different mind. I have heard some people share some stories about the lagu digit lah, little sangat lah. Now you want to explore on your own. Okay, it's okay for EDHEC. We encourage creativity, excitement. Kita okay. Yang tak okay itu di management lah. So you have to talk to your faculty about that. Yeah? Now I will introduce you to Ms. Puan Jazihan, or you can call her G. She is our quality control manager. Wide experience in structural design from IMU and also from IGTA. Panjang lagi lah CV dia tu, but she's experienced. So she is helping EDHEC to monitor the quality of the courses that we are going to produce. There must be one person to overlook everything. So silakan Ji.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. First of all, thank you so much for attending today's workshop. We at EDHEC feel very happy and grateful to see your commitment and efforts in this project. My name is Jazihan Mahat, as mentioned. So you can maybe call me G or short name. So today I would like to introduce to you the micro-credentials template that we have developed to assist you in develop and designing your module. So before I move to that micro-credential template, I would like to introduce to the flowchart. I hope that this flowchart will give you a clearer view on how we going to work together for this project. As you can see, right, in this flowchart, we developed it into 3 boxes. The first boxes belong to the deans, deputy deans, deputy directors, head of departments, program coordinators, and the second box is where your role will be in, and the third box where we at EDHEC will be supporting you throughout of this project. So we start from the green box first. It will be start when your dean and deputy directors, deputy deans, directors or deputy directors will be first identify which program that they think suitable to be converted into micro-credential program within 2 years' time. So once that has been identified, the head departments or program coordinators will identify potential courses and who are going to responsible for the development, which is you. You are here now. So then they're going to inform the intention to develop micro-credential modules like that. So for your part, that you are here now, you attend the first workshop by EDHEC. So what we're going to achieve towards the end of the workshop is we hope that you're going to prepare and submit the first template, which is micro-credential module mapping template at the end of this workshop. And once you have submitted the completed module template, we at EDHEC will inform you the targeted module launch date to you. So we need to say that because now you see that we have quite numbers of micro-credential modules that the lecturers want to develop, and it is quite overwhelming for us. So we have to sort it and arrange it into few batches. Maybe the nearest will be on the October, and maybe some of your modules can be launched on the December onwards. Alright, once we have got information on the date, and then we're going to give you the second template, which is we name it as micro-credentials and future learn module planning template. This template is specifically being designed on how you're going to transfer the content into future learn format. Because just now you listen to Dr. Zahir's presentation whereby he mentions that there are ways, right? They have learning steps, they have weeks, they have activities. Those are the things that we're going to map together. And don't worry, all of these things we are going to work side by side because, as mentioned by Dr. Farah, there are a team of instructional technologists that will be helping you in doing all of this. Alright, so once you have prepared the second tablet, if you need help, of course, we are here, which is we're going to assist you in designing the module contents. And if you need help on the recording, we are also going to go to you, or you go to the studios, and we're going to help you in recording you and editing the video. So you don't have to edit the video by yourself. Alright, don't worry about that. And for this part, you need to develop module contents on FutureLearn guided by Micro-Credential module development checklist. This one, we are still in the midst of developing it, and when it is ready, we will share it with you. Alright, once you have developed the contents on FutureLearn, if you need help, again, you can go back to EdX and ask for help, and we can help you. And if you think that your module is ready to be published, you need to inform EdX, hey, my module is ready. So what we're going to do from EdX part is we're going to check on the quality of the module. If we think that your module still needs some improvement, so it will going back to here, meaning that you still need to develop it. But if it thinks that your module is good enough, it's up to the standard of FutureLearn and standard, then we're going to request to the FutureLearn to publish your module. So there is actually another box here which is belong to the FutureLearn. FutureLearn also will do their part, whereby FutureLearn have to check the quality. If the FutureLearn says that this is okay, then only your module will be published. If, let's say, that you have made all the quality here, but the FutureLearn say no, it's not up to the standard just yet. So it will go back to here, whereby we still need to work together in order to make sure that your module is up to the standard. Alright? Alright. So let me give you an example here. Let's say you want to create a video in order to introduce a concept to your students. First thing that you have to think is that what is the learning objective that you want the student get out of that video. Like for example, if you want to introduce concept A in that video, please just stick to the concept A. Don't mention about concept B, because you have a redundant concept there, A and B. Your video will be lengthy, and we cannot fit one concept within a short period. As you know that attention span of the learners is not that long, so we try to make it bite-sized for them to learn, to watch that video. Okay, is it? Alright, so far you want to add anything? I did. Alright, before we moving forward, I would like to inform you that because we're going to develop our module on FutureLearn, and FutureLearn has quite limited learning materials and assessment that available for you to use. These are the example of learning materials and assessments that you can do with your students. Like for example, if you can have text, whereby the text can include short paragraph with infographic and pictures. The text will be around 500 to 800 words only. Cannot be longer than that. Me, myself, personally, I really love to work and really love to use infographic. You know, right, when we just visualize infographic, there are actually lots of things we can get. We can have the pictures and maybe we can have the graph out of this infographic. And if you need help in developing your infographic, of course, you can work with our educational technology team, whereby we can introduce, maybe we can introduce to you what the software you can use and how to maybe make your content much more attractive to the learners. And the second one is the short videos as mentioned, because if you can see in Micro-Credential program, there are lots of videos in there. You can have green screen recording. We can go to the studio and record you there or you can also have a talking head type of a videos, or maybe you want to have do screencasting type of video. And the third one would be, alright, for the audio, maybe you want to include audio as well. It could be short snippets of speech, or maybe you want to include some music. And of course, the music must be relate back to your learning objective. And the last one would be, you can have external tools. You can have like external link of websites, or maybe you want to include the PDF, or some of you maybe want to work with Kahoot, Quizzes, or another platform that you want to integrate into FutureLearn. Yes, it is also doable. And for the assessment, currently it is limited for these 3 types of assessment, whereby you can have a discussion, open discussion where students can reply to your questions up there. And the quiz, as I know in FutureLearn, there are 2 types of quiz that you can do. The first one is the MCQs, ABC format, and the second one is closed. Closed is blank, fill in the blank type of questions. And the third one is poll. So you can also have a poll with your students there. Okay, let's move forward to the mapping. Okay, in order to do the mapping, the first thing that you have to decide is which course learning outcome in your current course that you want to convert into micro-credential module. This is the first one, the major one, because let's all remember the vision of University Malaya is that we want to convert a program, right? That's why from the program go to the courses, and the courses go to the course learning outcome. So this is what is specifically confirmed first. Which course learning outcome that you want to convert into micro-credential module. And next, you need to decide on which topic or which chapter that course learning outcomes belong to. And once you have decided this, we can have the fancy module, like what the sexy name of the micro-credential module. So basically, we want to know from which faculty that courses is, from the department, the program, which program, like for example, master's ke, bachelor ke. So you have to let us know, and what are the course code that you want to convert into micro-credential module, and the course title, the duration of the SLT, student learning time, the credit, and also your name, of course, the instructor's name you want to also to be here. And then, here's my clicker. The course learning outcome, this is the CLO. So you just can get all of this information basically from your course performer, right? You just copy and paste, put it here, and a little bit of course synopsis. From this course learning outcome or CLO, this is when Dr. Farah and Dr. Zahir mentioned earlier that you need to pick at least one CLO that you think that would be marketable, interesting for the bigger audience to go to your course and learn about it. So like example, in this particular example, I'm working on Dr. Farah's course. She has 3 CLO, which is the first one is evaluate, the second one is compare, and the third one design and develop. So if you can say that this is actually design and develop would be higher ranking in the Bloom's taxonomy, which is quite high for me to achieve it in the micro-credential module. So I'm thinking that to start small, why not we try the first one first, evaluate, right? Okay, I'm not saying that design and develop cannot be on the FutureLearn, it could be. But it is really depends on how you design the learnings on the FutureLearn. Because when it comes to design and develop, towards the end, the student themselves must have produced something, right? So we need to say that towards the end, you must able to evaluate them. And then relate back what Dr. Zahir mentioned earlier, that the way that we design learning on FutureLearn is that we emphasize on social learning. Meaning to say, try to reduce your workload. Because later on, if you want to have a product, means that you have to market one by one, and we don't want that to happen, and we want them, and we don't want you to feel overwhelmed because of that. So try to design your module as social learning supported, that you can design it. How much you can design that? Okay, so that's why for this example, I'm trying to convert the first CLO first. Alright, how I'm converting this? Sebab tak jadual pengajaran. Okay, for this jadual pengajaran, right? When I go through Dr. Farah's jadual pengajaran, for the first week, she has like self-introduction, introduction to course syllabus, blah 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 blah. And for the second week, she starts to teach about introduction to instructional design, whereby there is definition by scholars, history of instructional design, and also for the third week, instructional design as a helping profession. And this second week and third week will be answer the first CLO. That's why I'm converting second and third week into micro-credential module. So how am I doing that? Go back to the template. I put week 2 and the CLO 1 here, and the chapter, go back to jadual pengajaran, which is belong to introduction to instructional design, and the second one is instructional design as a helping profession. And it is not necessary for you to include these two topics in your micro-credential course. It could be just one topic. It really depends on your field. Maybe you think that one topic will be enough for you to cover for 2 weeks of micro-credential course. It will be fine. So you have to reflect back. What are the contents that you want to cover within this topic? Because for this particular course, the topic is quite short and it would not be enough for me to develop one module. Alright, any questions so far? No. Okay, so that's why go for the second 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth column, which is micro-credential module. This is where I proposing my
Title.
yes, the title. So I want it to be named as socially responsible instructional designers. Okay, from these two topics just now, you need to tell us what is the MLO, the learning outcome that you want to achieve from these modules. So you reflect back, think back from your chapters, what are the things that you want them to have at the end of the course. From this learning outcome, then we want to know what are the learning materials and assessment that you want to provide in your course, micro-credential course. So like example here, in Dr. Farah's module, we are thinking to have like a video, 3 minutes duration of video, to talk about what is instructional design, and we also want to include text and infographic of basic terminologies in instructional design, in other videos, and very hard to control. What are fundamentals, components, and concepts in instructional design? So based on this learning outcome, you as the expert in the field, you must able to come up how you're going to engage the learners with the learning materials, and how are you going to assess them at the end. As mentioned earlier, these are the types of learning materials that you are able to do on FutureLearn platform, and 3 types of assessment that you can do with your students. Alright, okay, don't forget, for each of these learning materials and assessment, we also want to know about the SLT. Oh, sorry. About the SLT.
Maybe I can share a little bit here. Yes. Okay, remember the topic, okay? The CLO is the course learning outcome. Course learning outcome meaning all the 14 weeks of your course. Now we want you to think or tarik ya. So expect just one topic. And for this one topic, we want you to come up with learning objective. We call it MLO, Module Learning Objective, to differentiate it from the course. Because you need to be able to decide what activities and assessments you want to do. Let me take you to my course. For example, the first one, my bukan ibu, screen. Ya.
Ke bawah tu ke atas.
Bukan sini, sana. Macam tu. Okay. So my topic start with introduction to instructional design. Okay. So usually when I do course performer, I will just dump all the course learning outcome. I never actually really think about the tiny topic, what is the topic outcome. So now that we want to make it micro, we have to rethink about it or create one. For example, introduction to instructional design. Now I want to introduce the terminologies in the field, the instructional design. That's one. Second, I want to introduce the history of instructional design. Okay. Third, I want skills to be effective instructional designers. And fourth, what is civic-minded designers. So easily I can come up with 5 learning outcomes. Okay. For each of these learning outcomes, I can think of the activities and assessment. You know, so you can, if you have more to say about the first learning outcome, you can even break it down sampai paling kecil. That's why it is called micro credential, the smallest unit, or nano if you have more than that. Until you can no longer have you cannot break it down anymore. So that's your saturation point. Stop this itu. So that's your learning outcome. So usually we as educators, we don't really think about this down to the micro level. But instructional designers need to know this so that they can help design the materials. It's a good practice. So yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is that we're going to start with a topic, and then we're going to break it down to subtopics, and then break it down some more to subtopics until we cannot get any more sub and then sub.
Yes, correct. That's the idea. Okay? So it means that in this exercise, we are forced to think about how to break down your topic until you cannot break it down anymore. Okay. Now, with that, go to sikit je. Kiri lagi, okay. So, when I know my MLO, my Model Learning Outcome number 1, which is terminologies in instructional design, I will now selaraskan, align it, constructive alignment yang kita sebut yang ni lah. So, align it with my activities or what the content I want to present, which is number 1, I want to do a video about what is instructional design. Second, I will use text and infographics to teach or to deliver basic terminologies in instructional design. Now I will stop there. Okay, now I want to know what kind of assessment I have to do. So the next scholar will help me think about it. I want to do a quiz on the foundation. I call this a foundation of instructional design. Okay, so that's why it has to be constructively aligned. Sikit. Boleh ya?
Boleh pelan-pelan lah.
Pelan tak apa, jangan langsung tak ada step.
So kalau 1 week tu maksudnya 3 weeks of SLT.
We go by topic. Okay.
So you will take 2 weeks. So how many hours?
Only, okay, you can tell me. Dalam 2 weeks time, is it one topic? How many topics usually you teach?
Let's say it's the introduction and then the applied introduction.
So introduction will be 1 week.
1 week. The second week is you apply it.
Okay, now we take only one. That's the introduction, 1 week. Okay? In that introduction 1 week, you want to make it a micro MC course. Okay, now break down in the introduction, what are the subtopics for the introduction? Okay, you may come up with, like mine, I have 4. Okay, which I can develop to be 4 weeks for each MLO. Or I can choose to combine 2 MLO for 1 week only. So it really depends on you and the activities you want to put in. Okay? Apa lagi?
To work on your own template, you can just go to this tidy URL or scan the QR code. So it will lead you to the Google Drive. There is an example of the Forest module that you can have a look first before designing your own. So what we hope that by the end of this workshop, at least you have listed down what are the new materials and assessments that you have in mind, so that after this we can moving forward, working closely in developing those learning materials and assessments together. Alright, I think it's about lunchtime, is it?
Okay, let us all, the objective utama is before you walk away at 4 p.m. from this day 1, you would like to have one template from you. Okay, tak apa kalau it's just one topic. It could be subtopic. So let's start now. Okay, please scan it, download the soft copy of the template. Let's do at least one before you go to lunch, and then we will continue. My designers, my team will help go around if you need time. So,
So the SLT is still 120 hours and then 3 credits for this 4 weeks.
yang itu for the course, yes, for the existing course. But for MC, there is no agreed berapa SLT for what. But we are thinking of something. So the SLT is actually helping us to think about how many hours the learners have to do to complete one subtopic.
Yeah, but you already given 4 weeks and then for 1 week it's 3 hours.
And that is existing yang ada sekarang. It may be different. For example, tengok saya punya course sekejap. I'm thinking of watching 10 minutes video equals to 1 learning hours. 10 minutes equals to 1. Because some people, bila dia tengok video, dia macam repeat ulang dia repeat the whole thing about 10 minutes lah. Okay. Bawah sikit. Bukan. Atas sikit. Bawah sikit. Okay, nampak. Okay, for the assessment, what do we mean by SLT dalam MC ni? Look at the assessment column. Okay, the students will first do the quiz. Okay, and I think I want to have 5 quiz questions. Okay, and then they have to do discussion. So I think it will take 1 hour for them to complete the quiz with 5 questions and the discussion. That's what we meant by SLT. We don't mean SLT yang technical like MQA do lah. This is what you think your students can complete within the activities that you want. Pergi ke learning materials Ji. Ada SLT tak? Ada. Ada. Okay. Naik atas Ji. Sorry. So I present my first MLO. 3-minute video. Okay, I have how many video? 3 ke? I have 3 videos. Each video 3 minutes only. And then I have text, meaning that students have to read. And I have 2 texts. So I think that the students will complete all these materials within 2 hour time. That's what I mean by SLT. And you should also think about that. So jangan complicate ourselves, tak apa.